We'll start out today's show by talking about the Masters of the Universe live action film gets a summer 2026 release date. On the surface, I say yes. It's about time. We do need to have another crack at this property because it is ripe for the picking of, well, interesting storytelling. But, as I said, on the face, it does seem good, right? Set on Eternia, He-Man fights Skeletor for powers over who controls Castle Grayskull, right? No, that's apparently not the story of the live-action He-Man movie. Will be 10-year-old Prince Adam, who crashed to Earth in a spaceship and was separated from his magical power, the only link to his home on Eternia. All right. After tracking it almost down 2 decades later, Prince Adam is whisked back across space to defend his home planet against the evil forces of Skeletor. But to defeat such a powerful villain, Prince Adam will first need to uncover the mysteries of his past and become He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Guys, this is the story that's all across all the big trades. Mattel's Masters of the Universe moves from Netflix to Amazon for the summer 2026 release. Travis Knight to direct. He's handled some of the Transformers movies and this new plot synopsis, guys. And I liked what he did with Bumblebee, but it just doesn't sound like He-Man, right? 10-year-old Prince Adam who crashed to Earth in a spaceship. It's very Superman-ish, if you get what I'm saying. Why does he have to come to Earth? One of the things that I felt like, I know people don't like the political stuff, but there was an issue there with like his family and stuff, and wanting to be like, he didn't want to necessarily become like the next king or whatever kind of thing or whatever. That they kind of sort of dealt with. But it just sounds, on the surface, it sounds like that Transformers 1 trailer where they're trying to reinvent some of the lore to fit in with, I don't know. But then you got the people out there saying, but James, in a limited comic run back in 1991, they did have Optimus and Megatron be friends in a limited run. It's like, or in a small little series offshoot. It's like, guys, that's not the main series, right? So it's kind of like He-Man was always on Eternia. I don't know why we have to go to Earth. I don't know why people feel like they have to inject it seems like, again, what I've said before, somebody had this story idea in their head. They got the green light to do some kind of project, and they're like, well, how about you work on the He-Man story? And it's like, well, what's the story about? Well, you'll help develop it. Well, I got this other story. Let me see if I can shoehorn that in now and make it fit into He-Man. And sometimes it works, but for the most part, on the majority of it, does not work when they try to shoehorn in stories. I would go back to that 2000 series, man. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Try to adapt some of the stories from here. Why would you pay other writers for it, like when you've got writers that have already crafted the material and resonated with the fans, right? It's not a hard story. This is He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. It's not a story where it's like you have to reinvent this wheel. As I said, it's good guys against bad guys. The power for control over Castle Grayskull and the swords, right? It's not a tough one to crack. I always bring up this story from, remember when they tried to do the live action G.I. Joe, and it just it was a complete swing and a miss because they tried to reinvent Cobra Commander.
You will call me Commander.
And it's just like, what the heck is that? What are you guys doing? Like they made him and Duke friends. Why, guys? Why do you have to feel like you have to reinvent this thing? You don't have to. There's some established lore there that's so okay. Fine, it's generic, but you're going to please the fan base that made it popular in the first place by adapting the original stories, and then that's where you augment that with different tones to try to bring in the younger crowds. That's how you do it. You don't try to reinvent this wheel. So if he's 10 years old when he crashes, and almost 2 decades later he'll be 30 years old. Yeah. So what the heck is going on with this property? First it was Noah Centineo, and then he got replaced by Kyle Allen. And now this sounds like, it doesn't even sound like this Kyle Allen's going to be actor, not the football player. It was going to be this guy playing Prince Adam and He-Man. And if he's going to be 30, I don't think that this guy's going to be able to do it. It's just recast. And if he's going to be older, I'm sorry, guys. I said this shirtless. Yeah. There you go. There's your He-Man, right there. I don't know why you wouldn't. He's got the frame, he's got the build. Alan Ritchson. It's on, like, people would respond to that too. They'd be like, yeah, Alan Ritchson, he's a big dude. Put him in that costume. He's got the physique for it already, man. And you can have the Prince Adam be a different person. You can maybe have Kyle Allen be the Prince Adam character, but then when he gets the He-Man sword, that's when he transforms into Alan Ritchson, right? It just gives me pause for 2026. I don't know. Maybe I'm not reading this synopsis properly. I have no problem once he's back on Eternia, but why does he come to Earth? But to defeat such a powerful villain, Prince Adam will first need to uncover the mysteries of his past and become He-Man. And then this almost reads like it's just going to be the journey of Prince Adam becoming He-Man, and we won't get He-Man until like the last 5 minutes. Imagine if they did that. You know how angry people would be if they did that? It's like, let's try to create a Masters of the Universe movie that will make people angry. Well, your new script ideas, certainly press some buttons. Just take some live comments. Glass Viking says, I'm skeptical of an Earth-based Masters of the Universe. What's a 10-year-old doing joyriding on a spaceship? It's not what I remembered. Yeah, Bifer in the live chat says, hey, put Zac Efron up to bat for older Prince Adam. He was halfway there in Iron Claw. Yeah, Zac Efron from Iron Claw. That's a good call. Let me pull up what he looked like in Iron Claw. Because if you're going to go for the older Prince Adam, everybody called it when they saw him, just because of the haircut. But he's also got the physique, right? You could totally see that if he's the older Prince Adam. Now he's not as tall or anything as big, but he's also got the acting chops. And he proved that watching Iron Claw. Iron Claw was a really good movie last year, guys. If you haven't seen it, Zac Efron and a lot of the cast there did a fantastic job. Could he be a Prince Adam? Could you retool it? Because if he's going to be 30 years old now, Zac Efron's a little bit older than that. How old is Zac Efron? $36. No, you can swing that maybe. You could totally swing that and have him be He-Man. And he's not going to be super tall like Alan Ritchson or anything, but I would say that's a good call there, Art Glass. All right, guys, what do you think about the Masters of the Universe live action from Travis Knight 2026? Do you like that synopsis? He comes to Earth first, and then he's got to go fight Skeletor. As I said, it's on the surface, it sounds terrible, but there may be a way to have that work. Like his parents sent him here. Like, acknowledge his parents, right? he loved his parents, not like the Kevin Smith version where he's like uh, a brat. uh, because he was also um, a Boy Scout. He was very very much like Superman. And maybe that's what they're trying to echo. I don't know. It'll have to be handled very delicately. Let's move on to the Fall Guy review.